evening, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. Right before I take you through the headlines, I want to quickly get you up to speed where, at least numerically, India stands with its fight against COVID-19. Let's quickly now take a look at the total active positive cases. We stand at 292,518. Till now, in terms of deaths, we've recorded a figure of 1,46,111. We've seen recoveries to the tune of 96,36,487. So viewers, this is where India stands with its fight against COVID-19. If we have to break it down in sheer numbers, we're going to keep a keen eye on the latest numbers that are coming in. But as usual, let me now. All right, let's take you now directly to the latest coming in on the DDC election results from this Jammu and Kashmir. The latest is that in the valley, it is the Gupkar alliance which is ruling in terms of doing way better than the BJP, while in Jammu, it is the BJP that is doing better. The multi-party Gupkar alliance is ahead of the BJP in the counting for district polls currently underway in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The Gupkar alliance, which opposes abrogation of Article 370, has got a good lead over BJP. In Jammu, BJP has got a healthy lead, but Gupkar is ahead in Kashmir. The Gupkar alliance is leading on 97 seats, followed by BJP on 73. These polls, the first ever after Jammu and Kashmir lost its special status in August last year, will decide the fate of 2,178 candidates on 280 seats. Right ahead of the results, 3 PDP leaders were detained, invoking sharp reactions from Mehbooba Mufti, who claimed that this is a bid to manipulate results.
Well, I mean, it's an encouraging sign. Encouraging, one, because people have come out and participated in elections in a greater number than they did in 2018 when they had panchayat elections, which were an abysmal failure. It's still not as good as it was in 2011. It's still not the way it was in the 2014 assembly elections, but compared to where we were last year, this is an encouraging sign. It's also an encouraging sort of pat on the back for the People's Alliance, because we are a fledgling alliance. We were born in adversity. Most of us were detained as soon as the alliance came into being. Our decision to fight the elections jointly came after the process of elections had actually started. So it's been an uphill task for us, coupled with the way in which the BJP used every single ounce of machinery at its disposal, whether it was agencies, whether it was money, whether it was muscle. They threw the entire weight of the government of India behind their effort to defeat us. Under such circumstances, to come back with the sort of results that are showing in the trends is something that we are all deeply grateful to the voters of Jammu and Kashmir for.
पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर जिला परिषद के चुनावों के नतीजों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शानदार प्रदर्शन रहा है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जहां जम्मू संभाग के अंदर जबरदस्त स्वीप किया है, वहीं कश्मीर घाटी में भी कमल का फूल खिला है। आजाद उम्मीदवार जो इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स हैं कश्मीर के अंदर, जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के समर्थन से हमने खड़े किए थे और हमने उनके पक्ष में भी कैंपेन भी की थी, ऐसे हमें उम्मीद है कि 30 से 40 जो इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स हैं कश्मीर घाटी के अंदर, वो भी हमारी मदद से जीत के आएंगे। तो ओवरऑल अगर आप देखेंगे तो जम्मू कश्मीर के जिला परिषद के चुनावों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जबरदस्त शानदार प्रदर्शन रहा है।
All right, let's connect right now to my colleague Shuja ul Haq, who's joining us live with the very latest updates. Shuja, what does it look like? Can we say the numbers have now completely firmed up? All right, we seem to have lost Shuja. We're going to try and connect to him, but that's the latest that is coming in, and Trust India Today to get you the very latest. Let's now quickly. All right, okay, we seem to have Shuja back with us. Shuja, the numbers have firmed up. Can we conclude on that? What's the latest that you're picking up?
Well, yes, the trends seem to be coming out. In fact, there are distinct leads that the Gupkar Alliance, the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration, seems to be taking. Last I, figured out from my sources, in these counting centers, it does seem that the alliance is at a lead, at least at 115 seats so far, and many of these seats have also been won. The BJP seems to be, lagging behind, at least in comparison with the Gupkar Alliance. The Congress, surprisingly, has also not done very bad, particularly in Jammu. There are many seats where they have, in a sense, sought some lead. Of course, not as much as the BJP has. But overall, if you look at the picture, it very clearly seems that the Gupkar Alliance is taking the lead in these elections, and we really have to wait towards the end of these results, which of course is going to be happening anytime soon. And once all those results are out, the messaging will start. We have already started seeing the leaders from the Gupkar Alliance saying that they fought this election on the issue of Article 370 and how it was done in 2019, and this message, as with them, is from the people of Jammu and Kashmir on that issue. Well, as the BJP has been saying that they contested their election on the fact that these are development units which are being created. So there is a stark difference in the messaging that will be sent out. So we'll have to wait for the overall picture to come up when these results are finally out. Because I, anticipate that a lot of messaging, political messaging, is what will be delivered out.
Shuja, would you stay with me? Let's also bring in Sunil Ji Bhatt. He's tracking how the results are pouring in from Jammu. Sunil, the BJP doing rather well as expected in Jammu, but the surprise package is also the Congress leading on 25 right now.
Absolutely, Preeti. It was expected that BJP was going to lead from Jammu region, and
that is why we are seeing.
Yeah. Yes, Sunil, make your point. Okay, we seem to be having a bit of a audio connect problem with Sunil. Appreciate both of you for joining us, Shuja and Sunil. We're going to continue coming back to the both of you. Let's now quickly shift focus to the other developing story that we are tracking very closely, and that comes in of the possible scare of a new mutant or mutation of the coronavirus. Well, the government, the Health Ministry of India today held a press conference to try and allay those fears, because a lot of flights, in terms of most flights which are coming in from London and to and fro flights, have been cancelled. And the latest that the Health Ministry did say today is that right now there is no cause for concern, because yes, there is a mutation. There is no evidence of that mutation in India. 5 passengers who had landed from London last night tested positive at Delhi airport. Their samples have now been sent to the National Centre for Disease Control to find if they carry the new strain which caused panic in the UK. All 5 flyers have been sent to the COVID care centres. In Chennai too, a passenger has tested positive. The strain that he's carrying is being tested. Yesterday, the government suspended all flights to and fro from UK starting midnight today till 31st December. All passengers from UK are required to undergo a mandatory quarantine and RT-PCR test.
इनकमिंग पैसेंजर्स के लिए RT-PCR का क्राइटेरिया बनाया गया है कि वो RT-PCR उनका होगा. उसके बाद अगर पॉजिटिव हैं तो जैसे पॉजिटिव्स को हम ट्रीट करते हैं, आइसोलेट करते हैं, वो होंगे. अगर वो नेगेटिव हैं तो वो क्वारंटाइन में रखा जाएगा, उनको वॉच किया जाएगा, और सिम्टम्स आए हैं तो उसके बाद में आगे जांच करके और वो भी जीन देखा जाएगा जिसमें बदलाव हुआ है. इन शॉर्ट, इज दिस अ रीजन फॉर पैनिक? द आंसर इज नो. एज ऑफ नाउ, based on our discussions, deep understanding of the data available, our discussions with scientists in UK, colleagues in WHO, and our own deep assessment, there is no cause for concern as panic.
It is after almost 5.5 months that the country is witnessing less than 3 lakh active cases. So this is a big achievement and a landmark, and this is largely because of our frontline healthcare workers, our doctors, our paramedics. In the last 7 weeks, the average daily new cases have shown a continuous decline. भारत में मध्य सितंबर से लेकर अभी तक लगातार केसेस की ट्रेजेक्ट्री एक डिक्लाइन दिखा रही है. सस्टेन्ड डिक्लाइन, कॉन्टिन्यूअस डिक्लाइन, लगातार घटती हुई संख्या भारत में कोविड केसेस की है.
Whether this particular mutated virus is more deadlier or less deadlier in terms of the outcome of the disease, that is not very well known as of now. So there is no reason to worry as of now as far as the final outcome of the disease is concerned. What we should worry about is more transmissible if we are actually to believe the UK scientists. We can safely assume that vaccine will be effective irrespective of what kind of mutations are arising in the virus.
All right, so there might be a scare of a new strain right now, but the government says very clearly that yes, this strain might be more contagious, but is not as bad in terms of fatalities. There is no proof to suggest the same. But there's good news. Good news coming in for India where vaccine is concerned. The first shipment of vaccines will land in India by the last week of December. India today has learned from sources that the first shipment will reach Delhi. It will most likely to be one of the 3 vaccines that are under considerations for emergency use authorization in India. The development comes as preparations are underway to train healthcare workers in Delhi who will be administered vaccine shots to people after it is available. In Delhi, a massive training drive has begun for 3,500 healthcare workers. There is no clarification on when exactly the people in the national capital will be administered the COVID vaccine, but it will be the health workers who will get vaccine shots first.
We're standing inside one of the cargo terminals at Delhi International Airport, and this specific area where I'm standing right now, I'll ask my camera person Ajay to show you around. This is where the COVID-19 vaccines, when they come in, will be stored. These are cargo facilities, temperature-controlled cargo facilities. So the temperature that I'm standing in right now is about 2 to 8 degrees. This is the temperature which will be maintained in this section where I'm standing right now. There are sections which are warmer as well, but we know that the vaccine needs to be stored in cooler temperatures. It starts from about plus 25 degrees Celsius and it goes to minus 20 degrees Celsius. That's the cold storage which goes up to minus 20 degrees Celsius where the vaccine can be stored. In order to understand how much can be stored over here, of course you can see these racks. These are where the vaccines will be kept. There will be more racks which will be added over here. And what we're being told is like 2 freighters worth of vaccine material and doses can in fact be stored over here. The total capacity in terms of weight stands at about 1.5 lakh metric tons, but they say, Delhi Airport authorities say, that can be expanded as well. So this is how it's going to look like, the airport preparing itself in order to store the vaccine that comes in over here. This is one of the most crucial and critical steps of the transportation and storage of the vaccines when, of course, they become available and India starts administering them to its people. With camera person Ajay Thakur, Paulami Saha at the Delhi International Airport's cargo terminal for India Today.
All right, let's move on. The Prime Minister today was at the Aligarh Muslim University celebrating its 100 years. Well, he also released a stamp. He called Aligarh Muslim University a mini India. The biggest message coming out of this was inclusiveness by the Prime Minister.
अनेकों डिपार्टमेंट्स, दर्जनों हॉस्टल्स, हजारों टीचर्स, प्रोफेसर्स, लाखों स्टूडेंट्स के बीच एक मिनी इंडिया भी नजर आता है.
The Prime Minister lauding Aligarh Muslim University, a campus that gave stalwarts to the nation, played a key role in India's freedom struggle, and is at forefront of diversity and empowerment. In his message to mark 100 years of AMU, the PM banked on harmony and inclusiveness.
AMU में भी एक तरफ उर्दू पढ़ाई जाती है तो हिंदी भी, अरबी पढ़ाई जाती है तो यहां संस्कृत की शिक्षा का भी एक सदी पुराना संस्थान है। यहां की लाइब्रेरी में कुरान के मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट हैं तो गीता रामायण के अनुवाद भी उतने ही सहज कर रखे गए हैं।
At the e-meet, the Prime Minister elaborated on his government's efforts to empower Muslim women.
पहले लाखों मुस्लिम बेटियां शौचालय की कमी की वजह से पढ़ाई छोड़ देती थी। अब हालात बदल रहे हैं। मुस्लिम बेटियों का ड्रॉप रेट कम से कम हो, इसके लिए केंद्र सरकार निरंतर प्रयास कर रही है।
The PM's outreach also involved a nation above partisan politics message.
पॉलिटिक्स इंतजार कर सकती है, सोसाइटी इंतजार कर सकती है, देश का डेवलपमेंट का इंतजार नहीं कर सकता।
Modi cited AMU's stellar work amid pandemic and contribution to PM Cares Fund to drive home his point.
अभी कोरोना के इस संकट के दौरान भी AMU ने जिस तरह समाज की मदद की वो अभूतपूर्व है। पीएम केयर फंड में एक बड़ी राशि का योगदान देना समाज के प्रति आपके दायित्वों को पूरा करने की गंभीरता को दिखाता है।
Modi is the first Prime Minister to attend an event in AMU since Lal Bahadur Shastri in 1964.
From Jinnah to Pakistan, Aligarh Muslim University faced many adverse comments from political class. Even its special status came under criticism. But now, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, not only hailed the glory and contribution of Aligarh Muslim University, but also praised its legacy and heritage. Hopefully, it will silence the critics of this India's one of the most prestigious university. In Aligarh with Satya, this is Ashutosh Mishra reporting for India Today.
All right, a big political blowout played out in the city of Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Primarily why? Because the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi actually reached Uttar Pradesh to have a debate with Uttar Pradesh's Education Minister on the state of education and a comparison with Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. Well, Manish Sisodia claims that he was stopped and detained by Lucknow police after he tried to visit a school in Lucknow. Sisodia, who was in Lucknow for a debate on Delhi versus UP educational model with UP Education Minister Satish Dwivedi, claims he was detained on behest of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath.
आपने एक कार्यक्रम की अनुमति ली गई थी, आपने वो कार्यक्रम संपन्न कर लिया है। अब आप कहीं और कहीं जाना चाहते हैं तो बाकायदा हमें सूचित करेंगे, उसका परमिशन
मैंने सूचित नहीं, परमिशन नहीं मैं मांगूंगा आपसे। आप परमिशन देने वाले कोई नहीं होते हैं, आप माफ कीजिएगा कमिश्नर साहब, आप परमिशन देने वाले कोई नहीं होते हैं। लखनऊ में फ्री नहीं घूम सकता हूँ मैं? मतलब ये अपराधी हूँ मैं क्या कि मैं लखनऊ में फ्री नहीं घूम सकता हूँ? शिक्षा मंत्री के आपकी अनुमति से जाऊंगा मैं, कमाल हो गया।
All right, let's move on. Trouble seems to be mounting for Bollywood actor Arjun Rampal. Primarily why? Well, because the doctor who he said he had prescribed medicines from has said that he gave him the medicines, but ultimately it was not sure whether he suffered from the disease or not, which means he may be arrested by the NCB in connection with a Bollywood drug case. Sources have told India Today that NCB suspects that the prescription submitted for tramadol tablets could be backdated. These tablets were found during searches at Rampal's residence on November 9th. Tramadol tablet is a scheduled drug under the NDPC Act. On that note, we're going to slip into a quick break. To stay with me on the other side is our fact check segment. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.